All right, over here at the right side of the map, from the team StarTale, is
StarTale Ace.
There he is. And man, we just haven't had any opportunities to see him celebrate today. Not sure if he will, if he's down this low, but here is his opponent.
FXO Leenock.
And if Leenock wins this game, he's in Code S. He's pretty much clinched it.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's a slight possibility of a crazy three-way tie where 3 players have 3 and 1, but then he'd have to lose his last game too. But it's if he gets 3 wins, if he's 3-0, he's all but clinched it.
Yep. A little bit more harassment going on here. Now, Ace is, interestingly enough, not going for Forge Fast Expand on this map, as Legend is highlighting right now. This is a map where most people would Forge Fast Expand because there's a narrow choke, there's rocks as well, so you can fully wall off and then destroy the rocks rather than one of your own buildings later on. It's a very good map for Forge Fast Expand, and he is doing something unusual. Very intense pro block going on here. Lost a lot of hit points though, so he has to retreat for now.
Yep, and that hatchery does get down after all.
Since he's not going for a Forge Fast Expand, it's hard for him to justify the pylon block. It slows his core so significantly that it's not worth it for him. Now we'll see, meanwhile, if he takes a second gas or not. Back at his home base, he is getting a Zealot. The Overlord has seen no second gas, and right now, Leenock's probably getting a little bit concerned about the possibility of a 4-gateway timing attack with the amount of chrono boost that he sees with this Overlord and the only one gas.
Yeah.
As far as luck goes, I mean, he was able to scout very early with his Overlord, the positions, and
he just chrono boost. Did he just chrono boost? Yeah, he chrono boosted the Zealot. I'm sorry, the Stalker and the Warp Gate tech.
Yeah, and it absolutely is going to be a 4-gate. He is going to use his Stalker that he just chrono boosted to put pressure on because Zergling speed will be so late with this build. And Leenock knows it's going to be a 4-gate, but he has to decide how to react. His Overlord is still seeing no gas. It could be some sort of crazy...
Alan's karaoke pump.
It could be a crazy 1-gate with 1 gas expand, but everybody knows that. That's so unlikely, especially since he's using all of his Chrono and Warp Gate research. And here come the gateways in the main.
Yep. And, well, there's 2 more. We're going to see another one. This Overlord actually just missed the Stalker in the midfield. Is now going to be running into the main to check this out.
The pylon has been spotted. He has not made a 4th gateway yet, just sticking with 3.
This is interesting. Well, sometimes we do see players pressure with just 3 gateways.
This is interesting. He's doing damage to the spine so that when he does finally engage them, they're very low on hit points. Warp Gate research is almost done, so are the 2 gates, but he's taking out Zerglings left and right here because Zergling speed has just now started.
He's microing really nicely with that Stalker, and the Zealot doing extra damage as well. Warp Gate research is finished. There's that pylon. He sees it, but just in time for a single actually, that Stalker just warped into its death. Oh no! That was the bad warp in. He's going to warp in a couple more Stalkers and they're going to be able to do damage.
With the forcing of the spines, he already knows that he's done sun damage. He's added a second refinery back at home because he knows, okay, there's no way I can actually make this work. It's impossible. He's actually going to go home, and from here he has a few options. He can try to make a Nexus, and that's exactly what he's done, and make sentries to defend the Nexus as kind of like a pressure 3-gateway expand. He forced the spines. One spine was canceled, but he is still fairly behind from doing this. But since he didn't really commit, he didn't lose that much. He lost a few units on the map and, pylon, but he has not lost very much from this, and the game will go on.
I'm a little surprised he didn't make at least a Zealot, at least one more Zealot when he was warping in units there with all those Zerglings and no sign of roaches. But yeah, he has been forced back now. Forced Leenock to be very defensive, make a lot of Zerglings, killed a lot of Zerglings, so we might just see it. I mean, sometimes you have to kind of just say, all right, well, there's a lot of stuff happening there, step back and see what the situation is, and the situation is that, they're both going to be on about the same terms going into this mid-game here.
Yep, Yeah.
Ace is going to have an expansion, as will Leenock. Probably Leenock going to get a third base, though, once he breaks down those rocks, I would imagine.
Well, he's mining from 4 gases, so I think he's going to get a lair very soon, and there's the lair.
There you go.
And I think we will see Spire play, but Infestor Tech also makes sense in this case. The Forge is up. He hasn't had any need to make cannons, but he hasn't started +1 either. And he's going to go for Hallucination first to scout what Leenock is doing now. Now we've got a second gas up for Ace at his natural, so he's now gone to 4 gases, getting that hallucination research, making a cannon in fact. Now what will Ace do next is the question. Will he try to get a Stargate up, try to go for another timing attack? Will he try to take a fast third, kind of like we saw him do on Antigua?
I don't know. We do have him getting the weapons upgrade now that he has that Forge, and getting a cannon there, playing a little bit defensively. So we might see him just build up here. He still only has, I believe, the 3. He hasn't made any more gateways, has he?
No.
Nope, but he is going for a Robo now. So, I mean, we're going to see him basically just use the hallucination for scouting and probably determine what his next move is after that. Oh, you're right. Positioning for a third now.
He will have to eventually deal with the Zerglings and break the rocks. His first hallucinated Phoenix has been hallucinated. He's going to send it across the map. You will see the Spire that is on the way for Leenock, and that will allow him to prepare accordingly. He's not going to make very many robotics units, and he will be making cannons and start teching towards Twilight, because he hasn't done any teching towards Twilight at this point. His +1 is halfway done, and the Overseer spots the Robo. That's going to be a happy thing for him to see.
The Overseer spots everything, sees the entire base, and knows exactly what's going on here. And we're seeing Ace kind of do what he did against Sniper, where Sniper took a fast third, and Ace took also a fast third and tried to defend it. So we're going to see Ace try and do the same thing here, where in response to the Zerg taking a third base, he's going to take 3 as well and just try and shell up, turtle up, and defend until he can get a good army moving here. And I think this map is going to be a little bit easier for that.
I completely agree. Especially since he's already been able to get vision of everything, and the style his opponent's going in. Mutas, in a way, are easier to defend against than Roaches. You just have to know about them, and if you do know about them, as he does know, you can get a Twilight Council, you can add cannons prematurely, and that's exactly what he's doing, adding more gates, right, getting Blink, and he'll probably start Templar Archives very soon as well.
Yeah, Blink has begun, cannons are going down, he's getting +1 armor as well, by the way, which not necessarily pertinent to that, but yeah, 11 Mutalisks are on the map, though, and does he have enough Stalkers to deal with this right now? He doesn't have Blink yet, so he's not too mobile at the moment.
Yeah, he has enough in his main, though, with the cannon there to ward this first wave off. The second wave will be somewhat more difficult to deal with, but he should be fine. The Zerglings are going for a rock breakdown at the third, though, but he sees this. He may even make a second wall at the top of that, or at the bottom of that ramp, depending on what he wants to do. The Mutas are trying to catch the hallucinated Phoenixes to stop them from scouting, but he can't quite do it.
Baneling speed is on the way, and I still maintain that the Baneling Nest's upgrade animation is one of the creepiest that there are. Like, spazzes out like a spider in its death throes. Yeah, but I like this harassment by Leenock, by the way.
The rocks are broken. He has to force field, in fact, to keep his third alive. Now, if a hallucinated Phoenix flies by an observer and the bounce damage on the hallucinated Phoenix kills the observer, does it make a sound?
What?
Hold that thought. Zerling's trying to target down this Forge, and he does get +1 armor before it goes down.
Nice. That would have been a nice move for Leenock to catch that upgrade.
And Ace is
so
double
close
forging.
To finishing. He's making 2 more forges?
Well, he had a second forge, so he's immediately.
Oh, he did have a second forge already.
Well, hold that thought. He's targeting down Mutas here, but his Stalkers are eating some Zerling fire. There he goes, dropping Force Seals to protect them. Very aggressive Stalker attack here, but he was able to keep the Mutalisk count low as a result, or at least lower it slightly, I should say.
Yep.
The wall off here! Oh, no!
The pylon was about to go down to stop this from happening, but instead the Zerglings get into the main. Sentries and everything coming in here. He's going to target down those brand new shiny forges.
I like these Protosses going double forge because their opponents are seeming to attack these forges so well. And the hatchery over here on the left side of the map almost gets targeted down. It does fall with the last zealot.
Wow, and he's defending against these mutalisks in multiple places fairly well. In addition, keeping him from doing too much damage. He's lost a few probes, I believe, but he's doing a good job of being in more than one place at once.
The worker count now 63 probes to 79 drones, and a lot of banelings being morphed. 24, in fact, right now.
That's a lot of banelings, and those sentries are going to be so crucial. That is something that Ace did fairly well against Sniper, though. When the banelings rolled in, he had very good force field walls. For the most part, that last one was that let all the banelings kill all the sentries. Wasn't so good, but for the most part, throughout the course of the game, he had really good force field walls to keep the banelings away. Only about a third of Sniper's banelings actually landed, so what are you laughing at?
I was thinking about that scenario.
Oh, the sentries, yeah.
But
with like, he did put down the force field walls, and like 4 banelings got in anyway and killed all of the sentries.
Yes, that happened.
That happened.
That did happen.
Leenock has a pretty big supply advantage here, 50 supply ahead right now.
He's got a really nice position as well, where he can attack all sorts of angles. Look at this. I mean, he just has so many mutas, and he's like, we don't have Storm yet, so I don't care. I'm just going to stack him into one.
Pretty much. Oh my gosh. Tons more banelings be morphed under the vision of that observer, and there's nothing to protect this flank over here at all.
Actually, that was so sick. Oh, he's not blinking back for some reason.
Oh, the force field's just not quite placed correctly. Let the banelings roll right through the middle of them.
He blinked one stalker into the heart of the banelings, killed like 3 with it.
Oh, nice.
That was kind of interesting. Good force fields here. Leenock continues the attack. He has a huge second wave of Zerglings. The Zergling upgrades, by the way, are just +2. He doesn't have any Carapace upgrades. Storm is done, but there are no Templar on the map to use it.
We have exactly the same scenario as we did with Ace versus Sniper, where he just basically got 3 bases very fast and is forced to defend everywhere. Is he going to be able to? Stalker's blinking in to soak up baneling hits. Beautifully done, but the cannon is now unpowered. Oh! Blinks on top of some banelings that time while chasing the mutas. And
the mutas very low on health. They're going to actually engage here.
Now, I saw the Templar Arc. He doesn't have Storm yet, does he?
He has Storm, but he has no Templar out
on
the map.
Well, that would be a problem then for trying to use that Psy Storm. And Leenock is just throwing units at him. He's got 4 bases. He's like, you have 3 bases that's not fully saturated because they killed your probes. I've got 4 bases. I'm just going to keep throwing stuff at you because I can throw more than you can take. And, again, the wall, not able to get up there. Baneling's trapped there.
There's just too many mutas. There's not enough anti-air. Now he blinks in, but the damage has been done. So many sentries have been taken out. More Stalkers warping in, and Ace is holding fairly cost efficiently now.
Yeah,
his supply deficit is decreasing by the moment.
Yeah, he actually maintained the same supply
Continue to blink into banelings, but blinking back now against the Zerglings.
Oh no, Zerglings going to totally tear apart those Stalkers. Is he going to be able to blink back again with more Stalkers? Does he have enough Stalkers to deal with the mutas? Yes, actually he does. There's more in the back there. He's warping in more. It looks like Ace is going to hold. But the thing is now, instead of being 200 to 150, it's 180 to 100, so Ace does come out of it with a lower supply.
Ace has better upgrades on his Stalkers than the Zerglings have, but he's just never able to fight both at once, both the Zerglings and the mutas very well. A lot of these mutas on very low hit points, if he could just take some of those out, it would help him out so much, but he's just never able to gain any ground here, and Leenock just goes wave after wave after wave.
He's just permanently maxed. He just keeps maxing out and throwing units, over and over again.
Oh, when these rocks go down, it's going to be so hard for him to hold this location. Even unpowers one gateway with that pylon being destroyed. He's just too many fronts to defend. He's trying so hard.
More banelings coming in here. Again, good moves with the force fields, with the Stalkers blinking in to take out the Banes.
I really like the Stalkers blinking into like the stack of Banes.
Yeah, that's really, really cool.
Here we go. Force fields going down to block the Zerglings out. Not quite enough, though.
The sentries all die to the Zerglings. The Templar are there, but they're not having the energy to storm, forced to be turned into Archons out of desperation. Ladies and gentlemen, StarTale Ace We wanted to see him do a celebration when he won, but he is going to go 0-3 here, ladies and gentlemen. Leenock is going to virtually secure Code S as well. As the Mulists rampage the mineral line, I think we're going to see Ace be forced to GG any moment now.
I think you're right.
He's going to have one last stand.
The probes running away. The Banelings may be able to close the distance on them.
So many probes! Oh!
Well, he went out with a bang.
GG. I think we saw a little bit of showmanship there out of Ace. He's like, well...
Oh, look at that S symbol that Leenock just
nice.
drew.
Ace was like, well, let me give the fans a little bit of a thrill before I GG and let these Banelings blow up all my probes. But he looks disappointed, discouraged there, and rightly so. I am sad to see him do so poorly in this group. I had a little bit higher hopes for him, seeing as how he has such a cool personality and has been showing such good games lately.
He just has to try a little bit harder next time. He's going to still be in Code A.
He's still in Code A.
Format, he has another shot very easily. All he has to do is make it to the third round. And
Second round,
yeah,
even.
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking back to the old days where we had that purgatory round, but we don't have that anymore.
Yeah, it's actually relatively easy to get into the up and down matches once you get into Code A.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
That's the hard part for sure. Although we do have some people like Ergendal who get in off of just a win out of beating Sella in a best of 3 and getting buys. I don't know if you heard about this. We have one player in Code A. I believe his ID is Gondol, but his clan is URG Erg. And he is just a 300-point Masters player on Korea, and he was able to get buys all the way to the finals. Because all of his opponents did not show, and he played against Slayer Sella in the finals and beat him, and now he's in Code A.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that did happen.
That happens, I guess, sometimes. That's
Some people get lucky. I can't wait to see actually how good he is. He may actually be good, but it's hard to say. I wasn't there to see his game against Sella.
Yeah.
Sella beat Jinro to get to that finals as well. I'm sure you heard about that. But
yeah, Sella's pretty good.
Even though he actually doesn't practice very much. He's doesn't have time. But anyway, we will actually be taking a quick 5-minute break before we get back to the rest of our game. So don't go anywhere to GSL up and down matches.